Chag Sameach Rabotai. We were asked an interesting question today regarding buying new clothes on Chol Hamo'Ed, on the intermediate days of the Passover or whether it's Sukkot. The question is, are you allowed to buy new ones? Because we find in the Shulchan Aruch, it says over there that a person is not allowed to make a new beged or to fix a beged. What does that mean? That if it gets torn or some kind of problem there, it's not allowed to do a professional fix there, right? In a professional way. A person who's a seamstress, seamster, whatever, you're not allowed to take to a person like that who does it in a professional way. It can be done in an amateur way if you know how to do like amateur sewing in your home. When it comes to professional, you're not allowed to. So the question is, what about to go to the store and to buy a new one, right? So the truth is that we do find in Halacha that schora, right, buying and selling on Chol Hamo'Ed is not allowed. But it is allowed in one case. What case is that? When you need that item for the holiday. So if you need the item for the holiday, a person is allowed to buy a new beged, right, a new clothing or new shoes. Where do we find the source for this? Actually, it's in Tosfot, in Masechet, in the tractate Psachim, in Nun Hey Amud Bet, in the second 55b. Over there it says Tosfot, you're allowed to buy new shoes on Chol Hamo'Ed. And we find the same halacha also written in the Tashbetz. We also find this in Rabbeinu Peretz, also on the Orchot Haim. So we see, right, that most of the Rishonim, the earlier authorities, agreed that a person is allowed to buy new shoes for Chol Hamo'Ed. Even though we find that the Raviyah, one of the former authorities, the earlier authorities, disagrees with this and doesn't allow, but the halacha is obviously, right, the law is like the majority. The majority do allow to buy, and therefore a person is allowed to buy new shoes if he needs them for the holiday. So the question is, does that also apply to other begadim, other clothing as well? So the truth is that we find, right, Moreno Rabbeinu Maran, he writes in his book Chazon Ovadia, Yom Tov, he writes over there that also the same would apply to buying a new beged, to buy new clothing. Why? Because what's the difference between shoes and clothing? It's the same thing, right? You're buying an item which you need for the holiday, and therefore it is allowed to purchase these kinds of things. But you don't need to have some kind of a special sale there or something like to avoid losing money. You don't require that here. In other cases, there is such a requirement like that. When it comes to Chol Hamo'Ed, a person needs this item for the holiday, he certainly is allowed to buy it according to what we said, and therefore, right, the person who has a problem, he doesn't have any clothing to wear, got ripped, got torn, whatever, got dirty, got soiled, and he can't fix this problem on Chol Hamo'Ed, as we said, right? He's not allowed to do professional fix, to hire a seamstress or whatever to fix this thing. So therefore, what does he do? He goes to the store and he buys a new one. This is the solution. That applies to all kinds of clothing, shoes, right? All kinds of things that a person may need for the holiday. Chazak u'baruch and Chag Sameach.